And welcome back to Straight Talk, and having very interesting discussions this afternoon. And one of the things that we're talking about is the security in the community. Any further ideas on how? Well, when is there going to be another meeting?
The next meeting is going to be Friday at 7:30 at the green space at K103. Now, should rain come, it'll be moved to I think it's a sports complex, but I'm not sure.
What was the feeling though? I mean, there had to have been.
The feeling is the community wants something done.
Yeah, but what are some of the suggestions?
They want a curfew in effect. There's talk about having the curfew. There's already one on the books, but it's for minors.
Yes,
Now,
under
as
16,
far as I understood,
1966.
The Indian Act has a subdivision there for non-natives on the reserve after a certain time. Also, I'm not sure about that.
The old
That's
sunrise
another
clause.
thing there. It's like
That's the only thing you can charge somebody with, and I said it earlier briefly, was trespassing at night. That's the only thing you can charge somebody with, trespassing at night. Sneaking around your yard, but they're driving around, you can't. There's no trespassing laws on a reserve. There's none.
Well, that's being looked at. The curfew, the
curfew for
checkpoints
everyone.
For everyone.
It's going to be a little difficult because we have 24-hour-a-day businesses here.
That's part of the problem that's bringing people in, is that we do have 24-hour-day businesses here.
Well, then maybe that would, put them under curfew, not me.
They should. They
You know
should
what I
be
mean?
closed at a certain time to stop drawing people in here.
So that's some of the
No.
things that they were looking at doing, right? I wonder how much of it is going to be taken into consideration though, because there are 24-hour businesses. So I think that it's being driven right now by community members. I guess we can see how things are going to progress, and I'm available. I mean, I can't always go to the meetings because I have young children, and it's difficult sometimes for me. But I'll try to get to that meeting on Friday. But I don't mind helping out when it comes to stuff like that. There's a lot of suggestions that we have, but more so, I think that the proper people need to be talking about this.
Yeah.
And need to be going to those meetings to reassure the people that are at the meetings and reassure the community that they're doing something.
Others just saying people shouldn't be going to those meetings as community members, but it's somebody officially representing.
They need to
Martin,
be
listen,
official.
Martin and Mike Bush, they're saying I'm there as a community member is horseshit, because you're a councillor and you represent the Mohawk Council 100%. So don't tell me that you're only there as a community, because you're not. You're in a position, especially Mike Bush being on the policing portfolio, to start to do something, to get it. So are you there just to get information, or are you there to offer something? And that's what has to happen.
Yeah, no, in the council, and if in fact the council table is holding to the position that, you can't go and say anything and speak for the whole table. That's baloney.
Yeah.
Because nobody should be, from the council, be told to go to a meeting and just say, well, you're just
Those
representing
meetings,
yourself.
the meetings, and this, I'll just leave this as I guess a train of thought or something to stew over. Anytime there's a situation like that, or something in this community is like that, you need chief of police, you need assistant chief, the investigators, you need the mayor or Mike DeLille, and somebody there in official capacity to be there. Even if you're just standing there trying to look good, you should be there to show that your department or this community is concerned about what's going on. You don't have to answer the questions specifically as to what you're doing to try to do the investigation or whatever. People want to know what you're going to do afterwards. And you need to be doing that. And you need to be going there. And it's not happened, and it hasn't happened. That's why I specifically asked the question. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but this is, like I said, that's the prime time when those departments or community should be there. If somebody an old lady got robbed in New York City, you'd have the mayor on TV or at her house or at the hospital saying that, we're sorry this didn't happen, but we're doing this. you know, but anyway, that's just my train of
They're
thought.
there though, you know, I mean, they're still gonna take that knowledge back to council on Monday.
Yeah,
You know,
but
I mean, they're not just
Yeah.
gonna leave it at
people
the
wanna
door.
see them there in an official capacity.
Yeah, and they need
Yeah.
to be able to also, like, having those officials there that can make some decisions as well. Having the power to be able to make some
Exactly.
decisions. That's an important element to any kind of movement.
But more so, to listen to the grassroots people. And
Exactly.
saying, this is what we're afraid of, this is what what can we do about it?
Right.
And if the least amount say, you know, I'm gonna put more patrols out. People, at least they'll feel a little more comfortable. Or we'll check more vehicles, or we'll do more things, you know? Just something basic like that. And then it's gonna make some people feel a little more comfortable, especially the older people in this community. The elders of the community are the ones that are gonna be more afraid than anybody else.
Okay.
So, obviously, we're gonna be talking about that, we should be talking about that whenever it comes up, at any time.
Right.
But one of the things is I'm just gonna segue into is that you mentioned the 24-hour businesses and stuff like that, and that's one of the concerns. I wonder if the Mohawk Council and the Gaming Commission ever took that into consideration when they allowed those poker places to go 24 hours.
MCK says that it's KGC's decision.
No, it's not.
That's what they say.
You know what? That's
It's-
Mike
it's
Delisle.
Dean Montour.
He can say that whatever he wants. He's full of it. They've-
But is it
The KGC is there just in name. They don't make decisions. It comes from the Mohawk Council. It comes from Mike Delisle. I've seen it in the past in my dealings, and you know some of the dealings that I've seen them do that. KGC doesn't make a decision for anything. They take direction from the Mohawk Council, and if Mohawk Council says that's not true, come in here and tell me that.
But to be clear, in theory though, or technically, on paper, it would appear that it's the gaming commission that makes those decisions.
Yeah, that's you know what.
No, but you're
you
talking
and
about on
everybody
the
else.
ground.
Yeah.
No, you're talking about it from on the ground. Once it
You and
hits the
everybody
pavement-
else know that that's not true, but you know it's shown it in the past, and this is one of the prime examples that people, you know, even some of the articles. I mean, I think it was an article, or you had wrote something about some operations that were going on, and there was kids in some of the poker houses and stuff like that. I don't know if that led to one of them being suspended. I don't know if that was part of it, but one of them were suspended. Maybe as a result of that, I don't know. But those are some of those things. So what do? It's
Yeah, but we don't know if they don't take that into consideration, and even if they do take that into consideration, they could still make a decision anyway.
But-
you know what I mean?
I
Like,
don't see how anybody can make a decision that big for the whole community. You know,
That's the
you're
problem.
imposing 24-hour gambling on our people now, in our community. I mean, that's a big thing.
and that's yeah, it is, and that's the problem. And you know what? I'll say it again. That this is just the beginning. This is getting us, this community, and all the complacent people that are sitting around talking about it and not doing anything, ready for the casino. And it's 100%, that's what they're doing. Don't tell me that that's not. You know what? You can say that all you want, but everything that you're doing, or what they're doing, dictates differently, doesn't it?
yeah.
They're saying is if it looks like a cat, or a duck and it, whatever.
Quacks like a duck,
Yeah.
and it's not a dog.
So, you know what I mean? But it's all geared towards, it seems like it's moving in that direction.
Well-
Let me just take a different little bit of a tack here, okay? Whether it's something that's 24 hours or another, let's separate that out of it for a moment. And say, look at, okay, well, here's a business, because as far as I knew coming into today's taping, one of the names that came up was Playground Poker, for example, as being open 24/7. I know they're open after 10 because I'm at the store till after 10 lately. But I also know that the people that own Playground Poker are some of the same people that are part of OTT, which fund the Kahnawake Funding Association, which has given out over the last year or so, since its inception, you know, like you know, a couple $1 million as far as I know.
So that makes it okay.
No, but well, I don't know. The question is look, if you go to a Montreal casino, okay, let's talk about whether it makes it okay or not, okay? They claim that all of that money goes into the coffers of the government, okay? How does it get to the people? Show how that happens. In the past, MIT, Mohawk Internet Technologies, one of the ways they flew that out into the community was that you're going to get dividends.
But they
never
do
did.
anything.
So
They
these
said that
guys,
they
well,
would.
look, in all fairness, to me, these guys at least, they said they were going to do this, $100,000 a month or whatever it is, and they've done that. Does it make it all right?
I'm talking specifically about the gaming commission making the decision to do that without consulting to anybody. They did ask, you know what they did? Well, we're looking at doing that, and they think they put it in the paper for a certain amount of time, and if they had any concerns, and nobody said anything.
No,
about
that's
it.
not true. That's not true. A lot of people have wrote letters, and I was told specifically by people, oh yeah, I wrote a letter in against that gambling establishment 24 hours. Where is it? Why don't they show us what the community has to say about this? They'll take all this information and then keep it private?
Okay, so that's something that they're not putting out. So
You know, in
So
my
is
opinion,
that something that'll be on the agenda for the open discussion, if it ever gets to open discussion at the
I'd like
community
to
meeting?
see that, yeah, certainly. But I would, in my opinion, I hold firm that the KGC is an illegal entity. They are not legally structured the way they're supposed to be per the law.
they're not.
But
They have a
if-
mandate. They have a
anything-
mandate that they're not following. We have to
That's
take a
right.
break.
Interesting discussion, we'll get back to that and more after these messages. Don't go away, we'll be right back.